Hello. Oh, I'm in game chat. Anyone that's in game chat can hear me now. Well, after how long have we had off? 18 days. We're back with Division 4, racing around Australia. Nearly everyone's on their hot lap at the moment. We'll be jumping on board with whoever that scores that yellow flag soon. Seems to be one of the... Oh, and if you couldn't tell, Hoffer. If you couldn't tell, my co-commentator, the main man himself, Jug, is currently commentating on Division 2, so if you prefer him over me, which I don't know who does, but he's streaming Division 2 at the moment, so yeah, you can go check him out. But we're in Division 4, and that's what we'll be concentrating on. Tom Putty going on the mediums. Interesting choice, but MH Splitter, a 119.7 is our first time round. The new and improved Melbourne track. As a Skelos goes 7/10 faster. Hoffs at the time, but obviously he spun. Brandon goes 2/10 faster. There's Skelos. Hackett puts in a 119. Oh, and Hasbulla sets a new pole. Yeah, this is quite interesting. Let's see if I can turn off. Where is that? I know this is criminal of me missing all this gameplay. Yeah, this is mute by default. Maybe they can't hear me. Oh, never mind. Anyway, moving on. Well, I missed. Awood has put in a lap. That is a very fast lap. To be fair, I never even got to set a qualifying. Oh no, no, I didn't. I missed the entire Division 1 race. Not the standards I should be upholding. It's very bad of me. Anyway, I'm going back to Division 4 results for Singapore, so I can get a quick glance at who is leading. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, it was who? Jordan, then Rancy, then Nellboy. And Rancy, the man who is second and made a storm in Singapore, is now pole. Rapid increase in pace over the Singapore weekend, plus over this break. Seems to come back fully rejuvenated and ready to race. Anyone else? I did literally not watch a single lap that time. But we've still got 9 drivers to set times. That includes the 2 Ferraris, the 2 Mercedes, the 2 Williams, the 2 McLarens, who are currently leading the championship, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go on board with Jordan, and I think he's just started his lap. I'm one of the avid advocates for an Australia hater. I dislike this track so much. But I don't mind commentating it because I'm not the one enduring the pain in its corners. So as Jordan comes onto the long back straight here, he will be, hasn't had a time, so he won't be up on a time. We'll see what he can do in this chicane. I find it very tricky. Doesn't take the inside curb, takes it nice and gentle. Ooh, does take some curb. Usually that can unsettle the car if you get 1 wheel on it, 2 wheels on it. You have to full send it over that curb, usually, for it to not. But oh, I think he slightly misses the apex in that corner, but I don't know how we're actually supposed to take that awkward corner, because obviously I dislike this track, if you can tell. And from anything I can see, it's a perfect lap until that, unfortunately. It's great. It's just gonna have to move out the way for Reno Cassell, who's gonna start a lap. Yep, and Reaper, who's just missing Jordan there, but comes out unscathed. Never mind, Jordan actually does get a 5+ grid penalty for a collision with Reapers, but that could have offset Reaper's time, because I think maybe he had to wide line, step off the throttle a bit, which he maybe could have got a 10th faster. We don't know. Anyway, Ewan's also setting a lap of a 119.7. Who else have I missed? Putty on the medium tyre actually set that time on 20.8. He's now on the soft tyres. Jordan obviously set that time Really, it's starting a lap. We're on board with him. Now, actually, who knows? We won't. We're going to go on board with Barry Bogorowski, who is currently on the championship. Where is it? 5th? 6th? I'll check in a second. As he seems, from everything I can see, that he's done that lap perfectly. But I really don't know what a good lap looks like around here. We'll have to see when he crosses the line. A 1:18.2 pole position for Barry Bogorowski. That is mega in Division 4 as well. I mean, McLaren really making a title charge this season, even if it is only 4 races in. We'll hop on board with his teammate, who's coming in to the penultimate corner here. Oh, stopped a lot on that apex. A lot of cars getting a lot of into that corner, I think. Actually, it is the real oversteer. And and no boy betters Bogorowski to the bat or pole, whatever you want to call it, by 1.5 tenths of a second. A 1:18.1. That is a very good time from the two McLarens. Who hasn't set a time? The two Ferrari still yet to set a time. Schooner's in the pits. I think he's had an awkward couple of laps. Reddy is also off his time. But he's going to start another lap from what it looks like here. Change up the camera angles, obviously. Sat on board. Who is at time? Should probably hop on board with some of these yellow flags as well. Not paying attention. I think we've got a spin out of the chicane, which I can't find. Cassell, yeah. Just has to let everyone by who's going past. And a lot of people on their laps actually, so we'll hop on board with a random man. Here we've got Jay Hayward. I think he's around 4th in the championship. Very fast driver, so if he can better his time. Going into the penultimate corner. It looks like they're getting on the grass a lot there in that corner, but I don't know if it offers the car. Sorry, speaking too fast. So I think we see Hackett losing it-ish in the background of that shot with Hayward as he jumps up to 5th, about an improvement of 1.5 tenths, I think. As it goes. At the moment in qualifying, DTR and Nailboy, Barry Bogorowski, the two McLarens leading the charge. Behind them, Eskelos and Ranti, the two Hasses, looking to make it a 1-2 for them. Hayward, the lone Alfa Romeo, it seems, as his teammate is all the way in 15th. As no, he's just getting past. Has Bula set pole position early in this session, but now he's dropped down to 6th. Brandon, P7. I expect him to jump up as Rancy sets a new fastest lap. Now that is around 1.5 tenths faster than DTR and Boys. So it's just getting faster and faster. Will anyone break the 117s? If it's anyone to do it, ooh, I think it will be anyone to break. Wazza maybe? Wazza, is he on that? He could break the 117s. We'll watch now. Oh, I think it's a little wide there. It's really close to the curb, but again, I don't know this track. It just looked like that. As a 1:18.7, I was expecting a little bit more from Wazza as he did in Singapore, or maybe I'm not. I don't know. But anyway, there's a big gap between 12th and 13th, so we could expect there might be some sort of gap in the race, but obviously a short track with not many. I don't want to say much. A lot of fast corners, so not a lot of time to lose time, except from I guess in the first sector, that awkward turns. What is that turns? Like 3 and 4, and then you've got the penultimate turn, and obviously the final corner, which I've spun out many times. Skoon is starting a lap, so we've gone on board with him. Hide some disgusting UI and watch the car go around the track. So I think here I think that's perfectly how he's taking it. I don't really know. And then sometimes I see different people taking the curb and not taking the curb in turns 4, turns 5. You definitely don't want to be taking the inside curb there. Here, I think I usually take the inside curb, and I always invalidate it on the exit because it's just so inviting to just run straight over that rumble strip, but no, he's getting validated for that, as now he will come up to the chicane. And how will he do here? I think he takes some of the curb, does he? Slightly taps the apex of the second, I don't know what to call it, what's the second part of the chicane called? It's the second part of the chicane. As one of the Aston Martins moves over for him, so he comes to the penultimate corner, my favourite word, and the final corner, which hopefully doesn't get understeer. Seems to have set up the car nicely, and now he comes towards the line. We'll see if he improves. 5 tenths, moves up to 13th. Better as his teammate, but I think he was still in front of his teammate. Hasbulla, even though it's Hans L. Buller. But I say Hasbulla because we all know I think that's who he's trying to replicate, the legendary boxer himself. This Nailboy also starts a lap, will hop on board with him. Oh, soon as Hasbulla almost loses the car in the chicane. That's what I mean. Some setups, I think it's really suspension. If you have really soft suspension, you can take the curb a lot. You don't have to perfectly take that curb with the soft suspension because it absorbs a lot of the bounce. If you have a hard suspension, which usually I think people do for the fast corners because it allows better, like you're not slow down as much on corner exits. As Hans, you can see there, he takes the curb and it's fine. But it's interesting, a lot of different setups around here, especially if it rained and then gets dry again. Oh, I have to have a second bite at that Hoff. As we'll see where he places himself, currently 10th. I think he's the lone Alpine today. Jesus. See where he bombs it towards the line. What time does he set? 118.5. He moves up to P7. Or was he already in P7? I don't know. Who was I on about? No boy. He's on a lap, up by half a tenth. See, he jumps the curb completely and uses all the space. It's a purple middle sector. As I think there's a slow moving Alpine, but he's moved out of the way, so it's fine. Snowboy here, I would usually take the curb, and he does. I guess you can take into account here, but I think he just slows down. Doesn't get any understeer, perfect with the gear shifts. As he comes towards the line, is he faster? 117, 117.9 for Nailboy. Really fighting for his, I don't know if it's first pole position, but I don't want to say that. I think he has set pole position before, but I don't know. As I think Bob Rossi will be coming to the pits to have another go if he can, if he has any new tyres. Who else are we going to jump on with? Gunnar and Reliot. Gunnar has still yet to set a lap. He's just come out the pits here. This is going to be his final attempt. Also, Reliot has not had the best lap on his first lap, but here we go. Here's his second lap. A 118.1, jumped all the way up to P3 from last. That's going to be a lot of pressure taken off him, but moved on to his brother Gunnar here. So as Reap, I want to say Reaper, Reaps sets a 118.1, just beats Reliot to third. So I think that's Reliot and Reaps out now. Bog might be able to get out in time. The Skeleton's on a lap. Jordan's I think out, don't think he can get around again. Haywood's on a lap. Cassell can't get around. Actually, maybe. Hoff will be going again, I think. He's trying to get ERS. Tom Putty. 2 tenths up on this time, but it looks like. See what time he can set. Only set this time on the medium, so I'd expect a jump of around a second, hopefully. If he can. Who else? The Haas do have been split up, but Rancy's still holding out that 118.0. Maybe he can improve on that, get pole position. Be a good fight between Rancy and Nailboy this track. I think it's very fast, obviously it's very fast flowing, but I find it very difficult to overtake around here. A 119.3 sees Tom Putty stay P18, but Gunnar will be the only person not to set a time here, and I think he's looking to try and better his Ferrari teammate, but it's a hard task to accomplish. Also, little Mikey only a 118.9 from him. He can't better his teammate. Obviously, I would be up at the front, but I think most of them have set the times. I mean, Rancy has to go again. Who's moved up? Was that Brandon? I think I saw Brandon jump as Noble retires, so he cannot set another lap as he's in the pits. Gunas apparently set a purple middle sector, so I'm excited to see what he puts on the board. Who's out? Rancy is also on a lap. As we can see, he's coming up to the chicane now. And there we go, the checkered flag's been risen, so we know who is officially out. P6 to P9 cannot set a lap. Reaps is also out from setting a lap. And he invalidated, so he is the only man not to set a time. No, Mikey I think is on a lap as well, but we will jump to Eskelos or Rancy. It's Rancy here. Can he beat Nelboy to pole position in Australia? We've got a couple 100 metres to find out. Of this corner, rarely retires, he stays fourth. And he does, 117.8. 10th of a second, or not even that. 800 separate those two. Who is on a lap? I don't think Brandon is. Jordan maybe. Oh, Wasser moves up to P5. I knew went to stay down there too long. Cell was invalidated, so I think that's it. I think Ranchi was the last one to cross the line officially to set a time. Guna, unfortunately, the only man not to set a time. And when the screen comes up, I will run down the order, even though you can already see it. But I guess we'll look at some. It's Williams going to the pits. Oh no, or yeah. Cross the line, it's faster. Ooh, even what a great show there. But he won't lose position for that. It's just a bit clumsy, to say the least, especially when you're being spectated on. I think that's everyone. I think Brandon's just going into the pits, so we just have to wait a little bit longer, and then I'll round off the 19 drivers. That goes to finish on pole for the second race in the row in the hat. For the second race in a row in the hat, 117.8. It's Rancy, the Englishman, Nelboy, McLaren, close behind, 0.076. Nothing separating these two, as we see. I don't want to mess up that flag, but I think it's Barbados, but I have no clue, so don't trust me on that. Reaps in the Williams at a 118.1. He's third, and then it goes Reliot, Wazza, Brandon, Bog. A good qualifying from him for P7. Eskelos, the other Finn in the Haas. Jordan unfortunately got that 5-second time penalty for that collision with Reaps. Hayward, Cassell, Hoff, the lone Alpine today, has Buller, Hackett, Lil Mikey, Splitter, Goon, Tom Putty, and Guna make the final 5, if I said that correctly. I'm quickly gonna get a drink so you guys can actually hear me when I'm commentating this race. But yeah, the drivers will select their strategies and we'll wait for them to race. And I actually haven't checked the Discord to know if it's raining, so I'll be back, and yeah, could be raining. intermission over. Precinct on. I don't know, something like that. That should be the catchphrase. When I come back, anyway, we'll hop on board. What's the detail again? Tyres. And there we go. A wide selection of tyres. Excuse me. I just had to relieve myself. Oh, that sounds so weird. Anyway, maybe I'm not so good at commentating as I thought. Rancy on the hards. This will be a great start for Nailboy and Reeps, I think. Hopefully get the jump on Rancy if he's on these hards. Ready also on the hards. Wazza on the hards. Brandon on the hards. Bogrowski on the hards as well. Maybe there's some rain later on. They're trying to hopefully get these tyres too, but it'll be difficult to warm up as the grid slows into these last two slow corners. Haywood, 9th, obviously. Mediums as well. Cassell, mediums. Hoffer, mediums. Hand, mediums. Hackett on the hards. In a pack full of mediums. Jordan on the mediums. A weird selection from Lil Mikey on the softs. Hopefully you gain a couple of positions. Maybe have an early safety car and gain some positions. I mean, there's a lot of safety cars down here with how fast the corners are, and a lot of people have some opportunistic overtaking attempts. So yeah, and obviously Tom Putty is on the mediums, and Guna, the man who didn't set a time in qualifying, is 19th, and he's obviously on the hards. I don't know why I said he was 19th. Anyway, we'll hop to the front, which hopefully I can get a better view than back here, but I don't know. So maybe we'll just hop on board with Reeps or Relia or Wazza, one of them. As I think Nailboy does get a great start, so does Relia. Reaper's bogged down in the midfield. Wazza now trying to make some move on him. I can't really see anything, not the best angle. As they all seem to be getting through turn 1 and 2 quite nicely. Seems to be a big gap here. Oh, we're going through wide like that. I see a bit of wing flying off there from somebody. Also, I probably should get the UI back on to see all the position changes. But once we go to P6, I see a Reeps there who has fell all the way back, hopefully not spun back into the way of the track, as the top 3 changed. Obviously, Nailboy has now got the lead. Mikey on those soft tyres made a rapid bunch of positions. Man has got so lucky there, as there's a Alfa Romeo going wide here. It's so fast I can barely keep up with everyone. Oh! And who's trying to sneak up the inside there? Cassell trying to sneak up the inside of the spitter. As Hackett's now going side by side with Jordan into the fast chicane. As Lil Mikey's out. Chicane. Oh, in the middle of the track as well. Hopefully no one's hit him. But, oh, as I think Cassell might be in bot mode. No, he's just illegally overtaken a lot of people. But, anyway. Oh, that's Reeves. No, I'm not Cassell. That's his first safety car, and the great start that Lil Mikey was having from, if I can calculate here, from the details. Position changes, 4, so he started in P15, didn't he? Made it all the way to 9th, that's 6 positions on the opening lap. Amazing work from him, but obviously Reeps in the pits, I think he had some damage. He goes onto the medium tyre, falls all the way back to 17th. As also in the pits is Hackett. So an exciting start, to say the least. Nailboy gains the position on Rancy, as Relia is in P3, Wazza P4, Brandon ends up in P5. Bogorowski, 1 position made, so with Skelos and Haywood, but I think that's just because Reeps has tumbled down the order. As Buller made up 3, Jens playing it safe. Goon made up 6 positions, that's a good start from him. Jordan also playing it safe, 2 positions. Spitter, 3 positions. Cassell's lost 4 here, but I think maybe it's just some instance with some cars in front of him. He's been forced to slow down, and then a couple cars shoot past you, and you can't do anything about it. Tom Putty's gained 3, and Guna has gained 3 as well. That's the hard runners will be hopefully trying to enjoy this time to warm up there. Must be very, very warm hard tyres. It's good to heat up the tyres until it gets to the final sector and they lose all heat again. Don't know who to jump on with for this restart. It's obviously Mikey leaves the session. Unfortunately, great start from him. I think I mentioned it until he spun at the chicane. And that's what I mean. It's so different when you're trying to do the chicane in the race because the fuel is just so putting it just slides after you hit the curb and you can't control anything. This feels like the car's so slippery around here. But I digress, if that's the right word. Moving on. Reeks back into the pits, probably moving on to hards, I assume. I better warm these up. No, a new front wing. Oh, it probably didn't change it the first time we went into the pits. But I mean, going onto the hards is not too bad, I guess, if there's not another safety car. And plus, if he slows right down while coming out of the pit lane, you can get a good load into each tyre doing the corners full speed. That's not the right button. That's also not the right button. R1. Try to change. Yeah, there we go. You can probably get a good heat into the tyres if he slows down, but I don't think he is. So he's just going to rush towards the pack, which I don't blame him. So, DTR and Elbow, we're getting the safety car underway. The first safety car restart goes to him. Rancy in P2, looking to regain his first place. Maybe Bob might have some trouble with the medium runner, so it's only lap 3. You could see a gap start to form there. It's going to be interesting to see. As Reeps has already joined them, hopefully his tyres are nice and toasty. He's not going to go, is he? Never mind, he is going. He's right back. Oh my god. And here goes DTR Noble. So he seems to have catch Runcy sleeping. Relia has not been caught napping though, as he's right on the back of the fin. Nor is Waz is right on the back of Guna now, as Guna seems to be trying to make a move as Spez DNS into the first corner. Is close on the back of a driver. So I'm just looking at their times and who is the closest. We've got half, we'll hop on board with half maybe. Or Hands trying to get in front of. Oh, takes a lock curve there. This could bring Hoff into play using ERS, which is very difficult to regain on this track. Anyone making moves? I think this is actually the closest on track. I mean, Bog's close on Brandon, but I don't think a move into there is feasible. Oh, lock curve taken from Hands. And then Yen's slow on the exit there by not taking the curve. As Nelboy's already pulled out 1.2 seconds on him on the medium tyre on Rancy. So that's interesting. We've got, I think this is unfortunate, Split is retired. I didn't get to see that. He was towards the back of the grid. Anyway, it could have been an incident with anyone. I didn't see anyone falling off too much with wing damage. I mean, it's a couple seconds at the back, which could have been caused by anyone. There we go. We can sit here, see a move. I think that's Yen's moving past Hands. Oh, his Goon thinks about going down the inside. But I think that's just late braking and this is taking avoiding action. As 1.6 is the gap now, so Rancy will either have to push extremely hard on this lap or just try and keep Relic behind until the pit window. As Goon's already using a lot of this ERS, so I think a lot of drivers would be wary to save your ERS. Like Brandon, Wazza, Relic, drivers up front are. Rancy's using a lot. But I think Nelboy's also using something to try and get away Sorry if you can hear my fan of my heater of a PlayStation 4. Sadly, no upgrade this winter season. Oh, as Hayward gets on the curve there, but I think he's controlled it. Oh, he goes a little bit deep there as well. As Hans thinks for going around the outside, and he does. So now this could bring Goon into play as well. Can we get that aerial shot again? That was very nice. Never mind, we're going to have to watch this. Goon going to go around the outside of Jordan. No, he can't. That's without DRS. Now he looks like he's going to make a second attempt on his teammate, on Jordan's teammate, I mean. Hayward gets away with it. 2 seconds now, the gap between Nelboy and Rancy. This is definitely the closest on the grid. Cassell wanting to get involved now as well. He has a lot of DRS stored up here. No DRS on this long straight, which I'm quite surprised about. Oh, Cassell almost sends it into the wall, but I mean, he gets the move done on Jordan, so I think that's the main point. I think Hayward also defended from all getting around the outside of Hasbulla there, 3 wide almost in the exit of the chain. Hasbulla flooring it on the exit. Oh, it's very close. 3 wide even? Oh my god, as the two get absorbed, and that was obviously never going to end nicely as Cassell is retired in the middle of that corner. I don't think we're going to get a view of that, but that was crazy to be fair, what I could see. Unfortunately the camera was not the best, but it looked like he was the car of, was it Jordan or Hayward? Hayward just absorbed by the AlphaTauri and Red Bull, and obviously 3 into 1 does not work really. But a safety car again, so the hard runners maybe with a little grin on their face as it's too early for the medium runners to pit for anything substantial. So already 4 cars retired in 7 laps, so looking interesting to say the least. I still think there'll be 2 more DNS. Stop. So 2 stops for Hackett. 1 stop for the 11 and down. What's the tyre situation looking like? So, medium runners happy maybe that they can go hard, that their mediums are going to be saved a little bit under the safety cars. The hard runners, you think you've got Barry there and Rancy, who are the only drivers that started on the hard and are still on them. So I think they'll be going into a lap, I don't know, 18? Maybe 9? No, 17? 16? They'll be wanting the safety car to go as fast as possible, but it has to do another lap before it is allowed to go in. As per the rules, we cannot have a Michael Massey on our case. Always, we seem to have 2 cars pitting. Skelos into the pits, Hasbulla into the pits, and Hayward into the pits. Did their front wings not change? This is probably the case. I seem to see some front wing changes from. Yep. Luckily, safety cars coming in. Well, yeah, it didn't. Luckily, it didn't actually come in. Never mind. Ignore that. As I now do look at the Discord, my inside sources tell me that there's going to be a 10% chance of rain towards the end of the race, which is obviously, if we have a look at the skies now over, where is this racetrack? I know it's Australia, but Sydney? Melbourne? I think it's Melbourne. The skies of Melbourne. Seems to be a nice summer's day, or what time of day would it be? No, what time of year would it be? They have their race in April this year? I think that's summer, autumn for them? I don't know. Well, it's a sunny day to say the least, it's very hot. So I doubt that we'll see any rain, a few clouds, but nothing substantial. And obviously DTR Nailboy will get us started on our second restart of the day on lap 8. Obviously slow corner assist, you have to slow right down because the safety car takes its time to get into the pits. Unfortunately, Bert unable to speak with us today. He's maybe been caught up in again. He's gone early. 1 second is the gap, but I mean, he's not under pressure from Reliant, which is 7 tenths, 9 tenths. There's a big gaps between the top 6 here, and same with the rear. Nobody too close. Sort of big gaps between them all. 1 second again pulled out between Rancy and Nailboy. Same with Wazza. Wazza made a gap, and Hans goes down the outside of Escalos to make the move. He's on the soft tyre, so that was quite inevitable. I didn't pick up on that apparently. Guna probably might make the overtake on Hoff soon, as Hoff's on the hards. Wouldn't be surprised if we see that as Reliant as well, close on Rancy. Maybe didn't get these tyres heated up as much as he wanted to, Rancy, on the safety car laps. Look at the ERS, seems to be the same. Jordan has a think, but keeps it safe as Hoff and Putty are fighting, as Tom managed to get around Guna and now fighting straight onto Hoff and hard. Oh! That's almost losing it and going into it. Guna trying to go around the outside there, sneaky, but doesn't make it work. It's now the boom it down the back straight with no DRS, as we need to wait another lap for that to be enabled. As Hans puts in the fastest lap, a 1:22.205 on the soft tyres. I'm sure that'll be beaten at some point. As I see in the distance, Hans now making another move on Hackett on the soft, so again inevitable. He'll be looking to pick off Guna if his tyres don't wear considerably. 2.5 to the leader now. That is a massive gap. Nailboy's tyres really are reaching their stride apparently. Jordan's quite close to Bog, but I don't think he'll be able to move, as Guna manages to sweep around the outside just before the chicane. But that does leave him vulnerable with no DRS. Oh, as he seems to take too much speed into it, as Hans, Tom Putty seems to be pulling off the racing line there for his teammate. I would hope. It's team orders, but Guna now 10th in that. Jens actually managed to pull in out a second on the cars behind. Oh, as there's a spin as Hoff is retired from the session, which is unlucky for him because I think he's just a bystander in that accident. As I think Hayward spun round, or Jordan, one of the two spun round, and just unfortunate pile-up back there. That's quick leave from him. That's the 5th DNF and 3rd safety car in 11 laps, and we still have 18 laps remaining. Again, the medium runners now will be thinking it's time to probably pit, and the hard tire runners will be crying to themselves because it's too early for their tyres could still go another 7 laps before they need to pit onto mediums. So I think they have to cut onto mediums early to cover the medium runners, because this is perfect for the medium runners. Really difficult for the hards, unfortunately. It manages to drop his mic They're very professional of me. But having a look at the Division 4 Discord group chat. Here we go. Here we've got some words here from Cassell. Spitter. Who's pitting? Yes, as I predicted, all the medium runners pitting, even Hayward, onto the hards. Hans staying out, which gives him a great opportunity. Gooner staying out, and Ramsey and Boggs staying out. But in the Discord, Spitter, who is out, puts in an ellipses, and Cassell is like, what the fudge was that? W, that's the y'all doing. Beep, for beep's sake. Why? Question mark. Exclamation mark. This was ridiculous. And then Spitter replies with, sorry at Cassell. 9092. First lap, didn't mean to squeeze you, and he says all go good, and obviously unfortunate that Cassell is like, yeah, that's good. I just survived to get smashed afterwards. But I'm going to have a quick review of the footage here from Cassell. So I just want to have a look what happens. So everyone on the hards now, except from two drivers, Gooner on the mediums and Hans on the softs. Cassell always, that is the time where I said, oh wow, it looks like Cassell is really fast making the overtake and almost slams it into the wall because he's going that fast. But here he goes into the chicane. Hasbulla goes wide. Goon's getting cut off, but I think it's 3-1. As we said, 3-1, but then Goon just can't make the corner happen. I think Cassell moves in too fast, and then and then what's his name hits him. Oh, and then Reeps also slams into his teammate. Let's not forget. It's just unfortunate. I think who is at fault there? I think it was Goon. Unfortunately, I think Goon just too deep into the corner. As Ramsey gets it away on the 11 lap old hard tyres. Bogrovsky 9 tenths behind Gooner, looking to close the gap on Bog. Hans looking to overtake probably the lot of them and get to P1. As Hackett is 1.6 seconds behind on the hard tyres. His tyres not new though. 7 lap old tyres. 5 lap old tyres for Skelos, and Nelboy, who's trying to make the overtake on a Skelos as is the first driver on new. So realistically he is who doesn't have to pit P1 at the moment, but I think Hackett started on the mediums and the Skelos started on the mediums, so realistically they can go to the end, but will they? We don't know. If there's another safety car, probably not. Hans making his way around the outside of Gooner. He'll be looking to make a move on Bogrovsky soon. As I have my first comment in the YouTube chat. Let's have a look at this. DTR Racing D4 live? Wow, hold on, let's check this. Oh, it is live. Here we go. It's one of our drivers, Cassell. Very unfortunate with what happened to Cassell. He says he's very angry and wants to punch something, as I think every driver can relate to. As DTR Nelboy is trying to get around the Haas, or is the Haas trying to get around Nelboy? I think it's the Haas getting overtaken by Nelboy. Oh, it's Hasbulla. It's a 3-second time penalty. I think he's trying to go overtake Bog, but Bog, obviously we know the harsh defender that he is. Hasbulla probably wrong time, wrong place for him. As who was that trying to overtake him? Was that Gooner? Yes. Hackett is still 1.8, 1.7 around that gap between Gooner. Nelboy does need to get past Askelos though to make inroads towards Ramsey. Even though Ramsey's preying on a safety car right now, realistically I would have pitted if I was them and took the mediums to the end, even if it is a really difficult job. as I'm trying to capture some overtakes. Who's close? Brandon looking to make moves on Wazza. Boy looking to make a move on Eskelos as well. Oh, smooths everywhere. Goon makes a move on Hayward. Boy now really close, trying to go down the inside of Eskelos again, and it might just work this time, and it does. Third time of asking, and Eskelos just lightly taps into the back of Boy. If anything, that just gave him a bit more of a boost. As Aurelia is now looking to also make the move on Eskelos after that overtake has killed his momentum in that sector. Bit of a gap forming there between Hackett and Gunnar now, 2.1 seconds is the difference between the hard and medium runner. But it using the ERS now, but I think Eskelos will be too, but Eskelos is only on 27%. Oh, and Eskelos goes into taking 2 cars out. Oh, that is horrific. Eskelos out and Wazza out. As you can see, the wreckage of Wazza also in the wall in front of him. Another safety car, our 4th safety car of the race, as Ramsey now dives into the pits with Bogrovsky, Hans and Gunnar, and Hackett also jumping into the pits. So now we're promoted to 1st as now these drivers hop into the pits. I mean, I think another driver will, yeah, rarely it hops into the pits, I think, for the mediums. Yeah, a new set of mediums would be good now. You can get to the end of the race. So, Boy is P1. I have another 2 comments. I'm just a bit too famous today. I'm not so great at my German or French. Cassell, but Cassell is just doing what we all do, you know, questioning other drivers. What were they doing? Here we got Hasbulla saying what was he doing, why, and then some German words that I will not try and pronounce. But even though I did study French for 2 years and I still can't I think it means for what, I think, in French. I don't know, I'm not too great at my French, but I think Hasbulla seems to be at the centre of that for as Hasbulla is just greeting us all, the great watchers of DTR Division 4. Said he had to get off some steam. As I would love to see all the retired drivers come into the chat and give their opinions on what they think the race has been like and why they were taken out. So now we almost, luckily, we have, how many is that? 6? No, 7 retirees of this race. We need 3 more and we will have more retirees than drivers, which I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. So at the moment we've got Hans Buller with a 3-second time penalty, and I think Goon also with a 3-second time penalty for track limits. I'm surprised there's not more because I hate track limits on this track. Everyone from Ramsey down is on mediums except from Hans Buller. I think Hans Buller, if I look back on the stream, I think he was, I don't know what he was doing, but I think Cassell thinks he was doing something. I'll have a check. Here we go, some Anala. What can you tell us down at the pit lane? Oh my god, is this how laggy it was? It's better just be my phone. God, I have to speak like a penguin. Okay. Oh my god, this is lap 9. What lap did it crash? Oh, the other safety car. Here we go. Oh, this best. It is a 3-second time penalty for Goon, as I've just seen. Oh, is it must have been this lap that they crashed? So what happened here? I think Eskelos goes into the corner too fast on entry. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Eskelos just too fast. In on the entry curb, starts spinning, spins back onto the track. Unfortunately, the victim was Wazza. Could have been anyone. Yes, I think Cassell's, when he was talking about what was Hasbulla doing, it's related to what he did earlier when he, I think, straight lined one of the corners. He got a time penalty. But here as Nowboy, the fourth restart, but it's the third time he has restarted. Might leave it all the way to the line now. Nope, seems to get it going straight away. Tom Putty not fooled so easily. As Hayward is in a wall, so that's another retiring of the race. As you can see, a stricken car at the final corner in the background as well. Unfortunate for him. Now we have 8 retirees and 11 drivers. Oh, only 2 more. Only 2 more. It would be funny if it happened. It would actually be hilarious. I mean, if it's actually better for me because there's less people to make overtakes, so hopefully I shouldn't really miss it now. So we've still got anyone now. 1 driver isn't going to score points, which is quite funny. Everyone's going to get points in this race. Is that a move up ahead? It is. Guna and Hasbulla trying to go 2 into the chicane. Ton of curb taken by Guna. Oh, Hasbulla trying to force them out. Hasbulla now double overtaken. Really, it's trying to make the move as well. There's no way this works. Really, it just pulls out of the move, and now Hasbulla is trying to get back in front. No, he's not. Hold on, let's see if I can catch any good action without the HUD on. Got a yellow flag. No one spun of it. Moving on. Nelboy seems to be far into the lead, but we're back here in the group as Goon has to do a whole nother lap now before he can pit again. As we've got Brandon here, as there we can go, we can see Hasbulla and Reliot fighting it. I think it's Reliot. Oh, late braking from Hans. Trying to go around the outside is Jordan, I mean. I think on the better tyres as well. Hasbulla's on the hards. Same amount of ERS almost for both of them. Oh, good exit from Jordan here. Probably both using the ERS. Don't want to lose his position, but I think he's going to have to cede it. Oh, has he got enough speed? He doesn't. Decides doesn't want to go too wide into the chicane. Probably the safe option. Oh, and he misses the first corner. As this leads to, who is here? Ranty trying to chase down the win, and standing in his way is Tom Petty here, P2. Oh, as he goes quite deep, Tom. It's still a good exit. What would you say that is? A gap of about 1.5 seconds. Even though I have the timers, but I'm not using them because it's quite. I can see the entire grid on one camera at this point. There's so little of them. As what is it? Reliot is looking to take a move on. Who is this? Is this Joe? No, who am I on about? As oh no, Bar gets a 3-second time penalty. But I think he's making up some good pace, so he might be able to get out of the Guna time. You know what I mean? Yeah. Who is it in front? Hackett is in front of Reliot, and that is the person that Reliot wants to be in front of. And yeah. It gets me scared every time somebody goes over that chicane curve. Just fucking feel that something bad's gonna happen. Oh, as I'm missing overtakes left, right, centre because I don't have the HUD on. Anyway, Jordan here battling with Hans. This battle has been going on for a while. Jordan, I think, is the quicker driver, but doesn't want to go into too many risky situations with hands, as that's gotta. Here, Jordan has to make a move. Such a slow entry onto the straight for hands, as wow, he rockets past now. Hands with a little bit of more ERS, but I don't know if he's going to be able to make that count. Oh, thought they collided there as Brandon came zooming in. 90% ERS there. Brandon, as I see a movement happening up ahead. Down the inside it goes Reliot. But, oh, Kenny, he's going around the outside of Hackett. Keeps it on the track, so it's perfectly legal as they both go into the fast corner. And we've got an error in the application.